Good morning and welcome to another episode of Is There Anything Goats Don't Eat? Meanwhile, Barbara has a little project on.
Right, my job today is to clean this. The problem with sheds is it's a nice dry place to store stuff. It's also my garden shed, that's where all my garden tools live. It's the worst form of hoarding, really. I'll just put it in here for a few minutes, or a few days, or a few weeks, or a few months. My job today is to try and get at my painting gear, because the last time I used my painting gear was to paint the house, and that was last summer. And it's all in that, at the back there. Now, sadly, rats have been in here as well, so it's going to be a very unpleasant job I'm going to do today.
And sure enough, we found a rat's nest. And the trouble is you can never tell if there's anybody at home or not. There could be upwards of 3 or 4 big rats in there. Now, another one of the good job Barbara gets to do is to clean up after that goat. As brief as its stay inside was, it still had to be cleaned up after every night. So what we've done is made a cardboard box with a plastic liner that keeps all the mess off the floor in the house. And the used hay goes up the garden where we're putting it into some tubes that we're going to grow potatoes in once that hay's gone off a bit. And we'll be adding some soil and mulch.
The kite's all tangled up. The sparrows have been eating the garden.
Meanwhile, down at the cabin, I'm back on building. So, first thing to do is to draw a picture. Then I can take a bunch of measurements that I can then write down on my picture. With my picture covered in measurements, I can then transfer them to the piece of plywood. That been good? Nah. What? Right, now the next wall. So I'm going to do this gable there next, which means I've got to plumb, square, straighten and nail this window off and get it all nicely lined up. You see how this window goes so plumb. Yeah, I can live with it. I'm going to put a packer in here and just whack a prickle in it. It's not a bad idea when you're near the end of the timber to give the nail a tap on the point, just makes it go through with less chance of splitting. Just a quick check, make sure it's straight and level still. Pretty confident at this point, so I'm punching them off as I go. And with that window sorted out, it's now measuring time. So, another little picture with lots of measurements all over it. And again, selecting a sheet that I can cut out as many rough bits as I can. And now the leap of faith, were those measurements right? And then of course there is the inevitable bats. These are Bradford Golds, they're pretty good actually compared to pink bats. The moment of truth. Will it fit, or have we thrown a sheet of plywood away? Yes! Happy with that. Another picture, more measurements. And here we go again. Is it gonna fit? It's always a bit of a guess, and we're always very hopeful. And would you look at that, another one in the bag. And that's me for today. I've got things to do, I intend to cook dinner tonight, gotta get kindling. Just the normal sort of thing you do as the evening comes along. And Barbara's back in the garden. These hay bales have been here long enough for all that chicken shit in the lime to start working. The hay around it has started to really break down, so she's going to start planting. We've had such a rush on, our seedlings haven't been keeping up, so we've had to go and spend some money on buying these ones, but they are nice healthy looking specimens. Oh, these are gherkins along the back to grow up the fence, and they've got courgettes along the front, so that we've got some room for them to hang over the front of the hay bales. As you can see, it didn't get a real good germination with the zucchinis. Well, good morning. Back down at the cabin again. Rained yesterday and the day before, so everything's nice and muddy. Just makes everything that much easier. Anyway, today we're going to try around this bay window. Now, bay windows are never good at the best of times, and this one is already been severely modified. So let me just show you a couple of details that we're having with this bay window. 1825, 1826. $1817. Now there's the sill at 1810. So don't know exactly which one we're supposed to be. However, it's significantly shorter at the bottom than the top. Now if we square sill, jam the corner, 2128. Corner 30, 2130. So that's square, although it's skinnier at the bottom. Fascinating. Now it shows enormously out of plumb to about there. This end, oh look, almost plumb. The sill is slightly out of level. Needs to come up 5-6 mil or so. The jam, got up there. And wildly astray over here. I'm thinking the first thing is we're going to lift this side, which means packers, and I'm nearly out of packers, so the first thing to do is going to be to cut some more packers. Pull it out till it's flush and I can nail that in. As you can see, these sheets are all seconds. We got them cheap. Like they were really cheap. But they're all seconds, so we're trying to cut out, remove so that you can't see any of the worst damaged bits I'm trying to get rid of, like even. So in amongst cutting this, we're trying to cut out the bad bits, and I have uses for all of this stuff, let me tell you. So we're not just being proliferately wasteful. We're not just wasting material because we can here. I actually have uses for all of these offcuts to a degree. I'll be using a lot of them anyway in a future project. Anyway, on with the game. And look at this. New toy. Father's Day. Here we go. Mrs. went out and bought me a saw. How cool. Nice, light little trimming saw. Absolutely brilliant. So cool. I'm very happy with it. That's a neat little tool. Cool, eh? Here we go. Look at that. It's a kids. Smaller. 150mm. Instead of 165. Which means that one I can cut through a piece of 4x2 with. I can rip it lengthwise. That won't cut through the 50mm, it only does 45. But not meant for it. Let's check out the waggle in the blade. New saw. There is no waggle in the blade. It's built a couple of houses, that thing. It's done well. Anyway, going to extend its life enormously. Got a new one. Let's see how this goes. We'll see if we can damage it immediately. Let's tear into it, see how she goes. This sheet's for above the bay window. It actually measures wider than the hole when you put it in there, so it's actually got to go through a slightly smaller hole than its total finished width, so it's going to be a tight one to put up. I need Barbara to give me a hand with this one because I can't see it going in one go somehow. Well, that little saw seems to cut nice and straight, doesn't it? question is, will it work? We continue after lunch. Up she goes and there she rises.
What do you want me to do?
Hold up.
Stand on the ladder and hold it up.
We can try it.
I reckon I can hold it up and walk down. Tall enough, I don't think.
You can reach the bottom of the window, can't you? There. One side first.
Hang on, we go that way further.
Oh! Look at that, fucking fits.
Perfectly.
Whew! See?
That might need banging up a bit.
Not the best, but not bad considering it was actually bigger than the hole it went into. So it didn't quite get that angle right there. But apart from that, that is pretty bloody good. I didn't actually expect that one to fit at all. That's why I had Barbara give me a hand, because I thought for sure that's going to have to come in and out once or twice. Amazing. Anyway, on to the next one. So, there you go, one more left to do. Just got to do that one through there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I've got to go and cut some kindling, get the fire going. Oh, take a battery out, put it on charge. Going through about a battery a day at the moment. Bit over. Ooh. Right. And if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I can put scribers on this now that it's been squared and plumbed and fixed. And then if it doesn't rain, we can carry on up this wall with weatherboards. When I get them done, I can do corner boxes. See how the weather goes. Alrighty, we shall see you all tomorrow.
Hey, don't be mean to the goat. Yes, that's water. We don't need a goat swimming.
Well, there's another week. If you've enjoyed this video, like, subscribe and leave us a comment, and we'll see you next week.